Good morning. So we explained yesterday the concept of Rov Tashmishad, looking at the primary use of something in order to determine what kind of kashering process it needs to go through. And for Sfaradim, we take into account the majority of the things used throughout the year. We also explained the difference between Hag'ala and Libun, and we said that Libun is necessary for something which has absorbed forbidden taste in a dry setting, whereas Hag'ala is for taste which has been absorbed in a setting with liquids. Now, a really crucial debate with regards to Pesach is whether Libun is ever needed. And let me explain what I mean by this. The Gemara says that although we said anything which has absorbed forbidden taste in a dry setting needs libun, the most severe kind of kashering, which is quite difficult to do. But there is an exception to this rule. So the Gemara says that the spits used in conjunction with the sacrifices in the times of the Bet HaMikdash, they don't need to go through libun, despite the fact that after a period of time, a day or two, the taste absorbed in those spits become forbidden, because anything associated with the korban, with the sacrifice, had to be eaten by a certain time. Nonetheless, they can be kashed by hag'ala, not by libun, despite the fact that they absorbed heat, they absorbed taste in a setting without any liquid. And the reason is, the Gemara says, because hetera bala. Although at the end, after a day or two, the taste becomes prohibited, but at the time of absorption, it was absorbing permissible taste. And the idea is that although we say that something which has absorbed forbidden taste in a dry setting needs libun, that's only when at the time of absorbing, it was already absorbing forbidden taste. So a person put a spit on non-kosher meat or mixture of meat and milk, then straight away that absorbs forbidden taste of the non-kosher food, of the mixture of the meat and the milk, and hence it needs libun. But with the sacrifices, at the time it's absorbing the taste, it's not forbidden taste. And therefore, it's sufficient to do hag'ala, even though it's absorbing the taste through dry heat. Now, the big debate with Pesach is, how do we view the absorption of hametz throughout the year? On the one hand, one approach is to understand is that, look, throughout when anything absorbs taste throughout the year, hametz, at that time, it's not hametz. It's hametz. Of course, it's hametz, but it's not prohibited taste because it's not Pesach. And therefore, you can view this as hetera bala. It's absorbed at the time of absorption. It's absorbed permissible things, and which would mean that even if something was absorbed throughout the year in a dry setting, it never needs libun for Pesach. Always hag'ala suffices. And this indeed was the opinion of the Rambam, that we view hametz as something which is absorbed in a permissible fashion, and although on Pesach it becomes asur, nonetheless, it's considered hetera bala, and therefore you only really need to do hag'ala for Pesach and never really libun. However, other Rishonim, the Rif included, understood that hametz is considered isura bala. It's absorbed, even though it's absorbed at a time when you're allowed to have hametz, but this has straight away has the name of hametz, and since for Pesach this is called chametz, it's straight away considered it's absorbed forbidden taste. And this is how the Shulchan Aruch rules. He rules stringency with this, which is why we have the distinction in practice between libun and hag'ala, because we treat hametz as an absorption of prohibited substance throughout the year. But it's really important to know this, because whenever it's difficult to do libun, and there are other reasons to be lenient, we see already in Mishnah Berurah, many of the poskim are the one can, this opinion of the Rambam and of Rabbeinu Tam, and many of the great Rishonim who held hametz to be hetera bala, it's absorbed permissible taste, is used together with other principles in order to allow things. So, and we'll see when we talk about practical appliances how this comes into play sometimes.